Welcome to KIRUTZ, the key roots of sex addiction. My name is Collin, and I remember a time in my recovery where I was attending a support group. At the time, I only knew of two. One was my therapy group, and another group was Sexaholics Anonymous. And I remember attending because that's what everybody told me to do. Everyone told me that attending groups was the best way that you could recover from a sex addiction. And so I did. At that time in my life, I wasn't comfortable attending these support groups. I didn't like them. I didn't like really what my therapists were talking about. I didn't think I was getting a whole lot out of them. And I remember being in a Sexaholics Anonymous group after a particular meeting, and we were shaking hands. And I remember one man coming up to me and standing right in front of me, and I put my hand out to shake his, and he wouldn't shake my hand. That was really difficult for me, mostly because I was a sick person. I began to judge him, and I began to question myself. This is part of my illness. I turned to judging others. I turned to judging myself. I turned to fear, and I turned to anger. And when I do that, I tend to want to turn to my sexaholism, or I did in the past anyways. Sexaholism was a coping mechanism for me, and it helped relieve my emotional stress or my emotional burden. Now, when one attends groups, I believe it's a perfect place for us to learn to become unselfish or selfless. Over time, I have learned to see such imperfect people in a loving, caring, kind way, which means when I see them in such a way, I am loving, caring, kind myself, and I feel positive. This is one of the main points in recovery. We must learn to be comfortable in our own skin around anyone and everyone, even people who don't want to shake our hands. Because people in recovery groups are so imperfect, it's the perfect place for me to attend so that I can work on my own emotional well-being in an imperfect setting. And so I really recommend that you continue to attend your groups, even when you're uncomfortable, because it's by attending them that ultimately you'll learn to be comfortable in your own skin and begin to heal from your sex addiction.